Okay, today we have a homeschool group coming out to the farm for a field trip. Thomas is working today, so he is not home. So it's just me and Nate and Ada. And I just dropped the youngest 4 off at school, and I got almost all the way home and get a call that our chicks are at the post office. So now I have turned around and I'm going back into town to get the chicks from the post office because they've been in a box since Tuesday and it's now Thursday, so I don't want to leave them until after the field trip. So, bit of a stressful morning. Did I mention that our dog Gandalf dug out this morning twice as well before I left for school? So it's been a crazy morning. Luckily, Nate and Ada, you know, they don't always want to be helpful and do chores because they are, you know, typical teenagers. But when they know that I'm stressed out and that we've got something like big happening and I need their help and I just say, I really need your help today, they usually kick it into high gear. And so hopefully they'll have everything that I didn't get set up by the time I get home, because I have exactly an hour from right now before they get there, and the post office is probably 20 minutes from the house. So wish me luck. Little cuties. Okay, so that's where that video ended, because you can see we still have the remains of our field trip there. Only one family showed up for the field trip, which is unusual. That's never happened before, but you know what? We had a great time with that one family. So I didn't get footage of that since it was just one family, but we do have a farm day coming up next Saturday, an open farm day, where we just kind of invite the public out, and I will definitely get some footage of that. So today is Good Friday. And so that means that my youngest 4 are home today. You want to come say hi? So this is, show them what y'all are doing.
We're trying to blow up this thing that my sister got me for that our sister got me for Christmas. And I've had it in my room for
What
a
do
while.
you do with it though?
So you put it on like, hold this, yeah. You put it on like this, and then you and there's another one, like, it didn't come with 2, it didn't come with 2.
When you run into each other?
Yeah, you get 2, so then you go like.
But first, we're gonna run down the street and feed some friends' animals this morning. And then we're gonna feed our animals this morning, and then we're gonna play, right?
Maybe. It depends on what the house looks like.
All right, let's go. What you doing there, man? There's that good boy, Rexy. There's that good boy. Where are the little chickies?
I'm gonna eat a fly. This is how we take our trash.
Now we are back home and it is time to feed our animals. there's pumpkins growing out there?
Yeah.
It's from when we fed the pigs pumpkins. I'm just gonna let them grow, see what happens.
And I think I saw a cucumber.
Cool.
They're so cool, and this one really happens to like me.
Joshy, be careful, buddy. Yeah.
I'm a professional. I'm a professional chicken person now. I'm a chicken pie. This time don't poop on me.
Oh, I don't think he likes that. I think we're gonna probably put it. Yeah. Little sweeties.
I'm a professional United States birdman.
You're a professional United States what?
Birdman.
Birdman. All right. Oh, good job putting it back so gentle, Josh. He says hello. All right, gentle. You were checking for pasty bat? Good job. Careful with him though, gentle. Bessie says, did you bring me a treat? Oh, gorgeous. Oh, gorgeous. Oh, those piggies are hungry. So as you can see, the sheep needs to be moved. That is on our to-do list this weekend. There's still a little bit of green up under the tree and on the edges. But we're just kind of giving them a little extra feed at the moment. Ooh, I've got the barkingest dogs. Well, don't have to find any entertainment for these two today. Okay, so I thought I was going to be baking twist bread right now for a market that I have tomorrow, but Thomas is taking my oven apart at the moment because the bottom oven is not working. He's got to do some repairs and see if he can get it working. So I mean, I can't bake, so obviously I better garden. I can't say I'm sad about it, but I am grabbing the wheelbarrow and headed to load up some of this compost that was just delivered by our neighbor, and I'm going to plant some things. need to do is refer back to my garden plan and remember where I wanted to plant everything. So I only have a few things that are totally hardened off and ready to go out. Some tomatoes that I actually got at a feed store, and some jalapeno peppers and bell peppers. There's a couple of banana peppers, but they had a hot day in the greenhouse and they're not looking so hot now. So we'll see if those survive. I'm gonna give it a shot. I mean, why not? But I have to look here and see where I was gonna plant it. I do also know that right here in front of me, I'm beside one of the trellises. I wanted to do some different lettuces and spinach, but I didn't plant it yet because, let me just show you this is what's currently here, just this like really kind of almost clay-like. So I didn't have anything planted here. Last year I had a black garden, this garden fabric was over it, but I have expanded my garden this year, so there are areas that have not been planted before. So I think what I'm want to get done first is get these plants in the ground that I have, because they're starting to look a little bit tired of being in their little cells. And then if I have time, I'll weed right here and put this compost down. I do have, there are some little volunteers, basil coming up. I wish that all plants were as easy to recognize as babies as basil and tomato. Look, right here. So the fabric ended right here last year, and there was basil and tomatoes right here, and I have all these little tomatoes and basils, and I don't have it in me to kill a volunteer. So what I will do is just plant around them and let them grow big enough for me to move them. And then honestly, there's so much volunteer basil in this garden this year. I'm probably going to be giving people basil. I planted several different kinds of basil last year. I loved the lemon basil, smelled amazing. Purple basil was probably my favorite for cooking because it tastes like regular basil that you cook with, like sweet basil, but a little bit stronger, but it's just so pretty. And I would put it in this kind of chopped salad with tomatoes and cucumbers, and it was just so good. So I'm gonna get started. All right, right along this trellis is where I'm going to plant some of my slicer tomatoes. I have some that are called white tomasil that I have never had before, that I actually got at the seed exchange that I did. So I have those growing, and I'm gonna plant them here. So I'm gonna kind of move all this mulched leaves out of the way, pull up any weeds, and get those in the ground here. If you've never seen gardening gloves like this that have the claws, they're amazing. My mom got me this garden kit for Christmas, and these were in it, and they are so helpful. I really love them. It makes it so much easier to pull things up. getting some twist bread ready to bake. The oven is not fixed yet, but the top part of it still works. So I can do a little bit, it just has to be one at a time. It's a double oven and it's the bottom oven that's not working. So now I'm inside getting some twist bread ready for a market that we have tomorrow. I did get tomatoes planted. If I have time, I'm gonna go back and get some peppers in the ground. Maybe even some okra, just depending on what I have time for. Getting to be late afternoon. It's close to 4. I've spent the afternoon running back and forth between the garden and the oven, pulling bread in and out. The last thing I'm going to do before I go in is this area here. So this area was not gardened last year. As you can see, it's all overgrown. I've gone ahead and pulled up some stuff on this side. But what I'm going to do, I went ahead and planted these 2 little sad looking banana peppers that I have that I had gotten at a store and then left them in the pot too long. So what I'm going to do is try to just kind of pull up as much of the weed as I can, and I'm going to put down some cardboard and spray it down real good and put some of our compost on top of it so that when I have the stuff to plant the rest of this, hopefully it'll keep the weeds down some, and then we usually do straw as our mulch. Alright, I'm not sure how much of it that videoed because when I came back my camera was not on. So I just did this one section. I'll get the rest eventually, but that's all the cardboard I brought out with me at the moment. And frankly, I'm tired and ready to go in and get cleaned up for pizza and movie night. I gotta get some stuff packed up for our market tomorrow. Maybe do some editing. But I've got to water the rest of these peppers in, and I'm probably gonna go ahead and put some straw that I have back there at the base of just the peppers. I need to get more to cover all of the soil because it likes to be covered, but I'm gonna have to get that next time I go into town. So that is it for the garden today.